guidance and technical assistance to increase the life of individuals on the spectrum, their family members, their employers, or other institutions or agencies that want to make life better for individuals on the autism spectrum, and we serve individuals across the lifespan. We connect families and professionals to services and resources that are out there in the community. I tend to tell families it's easier for you to call us and get a list of resources than for you to spend 20 hours on Google trying to find a resource, because we have a database that contains a lot of information relating to autism. And as a community-based program, we work across all life settings where individuals work, play, live, and learn. And there are 7 CARD centers statewide. So everyone that's a resident of the state of Florida has a CARD center that services their area. And these links to CARD, autism related resources and things will be posted in the chat in case you want to reach them at a later time. Ms. Kent, will you talk about us being here tonight?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Ellen Kent, and I'm the coordinator for USF Health Service Corps. And in the past, we used to go out in the community with our friends from SafeKids Suncoast, SafeKids Tampa, and CARD, and our students were able to volunteer together with our safety experts at special events out in the community, like a back-to-school health fair, Surface for Autism. Unfortunately, we cannot do that this summer, so instead we came up with Plan B, in which we're providing these safety sessions to families virtually via Zoom. So this evening, we have some wonderful students with us from USF Health, Jennifer, Caroline, and Hannah, and they'll be helping to lead the lesson with Petra Stanton, and she's going to get started now and tell us all about the objectives. And thank you all so much for joining us. And again, thank you to our wonderful USF Health Service Corps student volunteers.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. My name is Petra Stanton, and I work at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital in St. Petersburg, Florida, but we cover pretty much the whole coast of the state of Florida. My job there is to prevent unintentional injuries, so I keep children out of the hospital. And I'm going to go through the lesson objectives. So first and foremost, the first objective is for the children and families to have fun and learn. And what we will be doing, we will read the Clifford book, and children throughout that book will identify some safety things that they can learn from the book, and we will discuss that after. We will also learn about layers of protection inside of your home, including a water watcher role. Also, we will learn how to properly fit a life jacket. And last but not least, very importantly, we will learn hands-only CPR. So without further ado, I will invite Caroline to join me to read the book, Clifford Takes a Swim.
Okay, Petra, thank you so much. Again, my name is Caroline. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. I will be reading the book Clifford Takes a Swim. So let's go ahead and get started. All right. Hi, I'm Emily Elizabeth, and this is my dog Clifford. Today we are going to the town pool with my parents. I've been taking swim lessons, and today all the families are coming to see what we've learned. We are going to show them how we follow the pool rules: no diving, running, or rough play, and that we can get into the pool safely, float, go underwater, and swim all the way across the pool. Then we're having a big barbecue to celebrate. My class meets Coach Carroll on the pool deck. We learn to only go in the pool when an adult is watching us. Okay, ready? Coach says, everybody in. We get into the pool with our feet first, just like we were taught. Great job, Coach says. Now let's show everyone how you learn to float. The lifeguard, Samir, is watching us too. He gives us a thumbs up. Welcome, parents, Coach Carroll says. Today, your kids will play in the dolphin games to demonstrate what they have learned in swim class. Of course, they'll have some fun too. Coach Carroll went on to explain that we would each get a dolphin pin for our hard work. I'm so excited for my parents and Clifford to see me swim. We split up into teams for the first game. It's water basketball. Children, while you're playing, show how you can bob in the water, says Coach Carroll, and also how you can push off from the bottom of the pool to jump up and make a shot. My friends and I toss the ball around to each other. Everyone is jumping and laughing and splashing. When it's my turn, I imagine I'm a dolphin. I soar out of the water and shoot the ball. Score! During the basketball game, Lisa accidentally throws the ball out of the pool. Clifford dashes across the pool deck to fetch it. Uh-oh! Clifford, I cry out. There's no running by the pool. It's not safe. Clifford already knows how to swim, but he doesn't know the pool rules like I do. I have to make sure to keep him safe by telling him what I learned in our lesson. The next game is an underwater treasure hunt where we get to show off how well we can swim underwater. Coach Carroll has hidden 5 gems and 5 gold coins somewhere in the pool, and we have to find them. Ready, set, hunt, Coach Carroll says. As I go underwater, I imagine that I'm a mermaid looking for lost treasure. Just then, I spot a golden coin. Suddenly, Clifford dives into the pool. I think he wants to help find the treasure too. Clifford, I shout. There's no diving or rough play in the pool. He swims over and licks my face. That means he's sorry. The final game is a relay. This will show that we can swim across the pool. When it's my turn, I kick my feet hard and breathe just as I was taught. When I turn my head to the side for air, I can hear my classmates cheering, "Go, Emily Elizabeth, go!" When I finish my lap and get out of the pool, my classmate Ginny says, "You did such a great job, but I'm nervous. What if I can't swim the whole way?" "You can do it, Ginny," I say. "I've seen you do it so many times before in class." "You're right," Ginny says. Feeling better, I can do it. Ginny gets a surprise when she gets into the pool. Clifford gets in and dog paddles right next to her. With Clifford by her side, she feels even better about swimming across the pool. Finally, it's time for the barbecue celebration. After all that hard work, I'm hungry. "Congratulations, children," Coach Carroll announces, then hands out our pins. "You've all learned so much in your swim lessons. I'm very proud of you." Before we finish, I have one more pin to give out. It's for a swimmer who learned all the pool rules and showed kindness to a friend who needed help. That special swimmer is Clifford. Coach puts a dolphin pin on Clifford's collar and then gives him a tasty bone. Later, all the kids from my lessons go back into the pool to play. This time, our parents come with us. Since Coach Carroll had to leave for the day, my mom volunteers to be the water watcher for the kids in my class. That means that she wears a special card around her neck and promises to look out for us at all times. I'm so proud that my mom is helping out. Clifford comes in the water with us too. He floats on his back like a big red raft and we climb aboard. I love swimming with Clifford. All right, and that's the end of the book. Thanks for listening.
Caroline, I know we heard some safety tips in that book, but I know some of the lessons are not available, the swim lessons in our area. I would like to discuss with you some survival swim lessons that parents can share with their children at home.
Right, so we will go over 5 water survival skills that could save your life in the water. So we'll go step by step. The first one being that we want to step and jump into the water with the water going over our heads and return to the surface. The second one being that we want to float or tread water for 1 minute. The third one, we want to turn around in a full circle and find an exit, a way to get out of the pool or the body of water. And then number 4, swimming 25 yards to the exit, and also knowing how to exit from a pool without having a ladder, because a lot of the time we're taught to use a ladder, but in a lot of cases there's not always a ladder. So knowing how to do that as well.
Thank you so much. What a wonderful information. I hope everybody is taking notes on these, because even if there are no swim lessons offered in your area, you are able to teach your children some life-saving skills that may prevent them from drowning. But that said, I will invite Jennifer to talk about some layers of protection, because not only we rely on swim lessons, we with little ones at home have to make sure that there are different layers, because they move fast and they may reach the pool very quickly. So Jennifer, can you go over the 5 layers of protection that parents can do at the home?
Of course. Hi, everyone. So the first layer begins with you. Pool safety starts with the caregiver. Persistent supervision will keep your little ones from assessing the pool area. Also, limit distractions that may interfere with supervision. The second layer is inside the home. Have a clear view of the pool from within the house. Access to exterior doors should be limited to adults. Use childproof door locks and door alarms on all doors leading to the pool area. The third layer, outside the home. The backyard should be secured as well as the pool area with safety fences and self-closing and self-latching gates. Use an alarm for the gate. Also, keep furniture away from the safety fence. Kids love to climb. Also, hot tubs should have a locking cover. The fourth layer is the pool area. Keep toys and floating objects out of the pool and remove trip hazards from the pool's edges. Maintain water levels 3 to 4 inches from the top. Wave alarms can be placed in the pool, and pool covers can be used when the pool is not in use. The last layer is swimming lessons. Enroll in swim lessons and make sure that family members can swim too. Always swim with a buddy and make sure children are never left unattended. Use life jackets for swimmers still learning, but do not rely on these alone. Establish rules for play areas, ensuring drains and suction fittings are off limits. Teach children to always ask permission to swim. Okay, and those are the 5 layers of protection.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. One of the things that I heard, among other things in the book, was that Emily Elizabeth talked about the Water Watcher badge. So I have an example with me. This one can be requested through going onto the Sunco SafeKids Facebook page for free. We will send it to you. We will need your address and name to send it to. But this Water Watcher badge serves exactly as it was described in the book. When there is a party or gathering, drowning is very quick and very silent. So we want to have somebody to participate in an active supervision of the children and the water. Because typically at parties, everybody is talking and being engaged, and everybody thinks everybody's watching, but nobody is really designated to that task. Now, does that mean we have to ruin one person's party for the whole time? No, this tag can be passed along 10 to 15 minutes at a time. And that way everybody gets to have fun, but the children also get to be watched. Again, you can request one for free on Suncoast SafeKids Facebook page. And with that said, we will invite our friend Hannah. First, we are Hannah, who will be talking about life jackets and also CPR. But first, we will play a life jacket and talk about a video about life jackets and how to use one. Thank you so much. So I will invite my daughter Samantha over here, and Hannah will help us to fit a life jacket on Samantha.
Okay, hi everyone, I'm Hannah, and I'm going to show you how to put the life jacket on Samantha. So first, what we want to make sure is that the life jacket doesn't have any holes, that it's good to go, and that it's an appropriate size. So in order to figure out if it's an appropriate size, we'd put it on her. And sometimes you can tell right away this is too big, or it won't even go on, so it's way too small. But this life jacket so far looks perfect for Samantha, but we won't really know it's perfect till we buckle it in. So then we'll put on the buckles here. Yep, so like that, and we'll put on all the buckles. And there should be 3 on your life jacket, just like this, and we can adjust the straps if needed, just like here. So you can make them looser or tighter, and then you do that for all 3.
Hannah, I want to point out some of these can be rigid if the life jacket is new. So beware that it is adjustable. Just give it a minute, okay?
Yep, definitely. That's a good thing to point out. Thank you. So we put it on her, and it looks like it'd be okay, but we're not actually sure. So like she did there, you would adjust the straps if it's too loose or too tight, and then you would make sure that it can't come over her head. So make sure it's tight enough and it's on properly. Yep, so it can't come over her head because looks can be misleading. So you always have to check that. And it looks like it fits. So that's perfect. And what we recommend is using a U.S. Coast Guard approved life jacket. So on that life jacket, it should say USF Coast Guard approved, or maybe on the tag, but typically it'll say it right on the life jacket. So she could show you that. Yep, so it says right in there in the inside, it'll say somewhere that it's US Coast Guard approved. And those are what we recommend. There's other jackets out there, but the best one would be a US Coast Guard approved life jacket. And that way you know you're getting a very safe jacket for your child.
And Hannah, I want to talk to you a little bit. One of the things that I found helpful on this life jacket is that it has stated the weight limit of the child that it can fit on. So that might be a good guidance in the store. So look for, know how much your child weighs and look in the store for the one. The range was pretty high, but pretty wide. So it was from 50 to 90 pounds on this life jacket. But it's always good to know that you don't bring home the wrong one. And then the other thing about life jackets is, like you said, they have to be U.S. Coast Guard approved. But we chatted before. Can you tell us a little bit about the inflatable ones? You know, because I've heard they are not recommended, correct?
Yes, that is correct. So I was a lifeguard for 5 years. I did a lot of lifeguarding, and actually at our pool, we did not let our people with arm floaties swim. And so the reason for that is that even if arm floaties look safe, they stay on your arm, it seems good, they can slip off so easily. And if a kid has arm floaties on, they feel invincible. And so they'll go jump off the high dive, or they'll go in the deep water, not realizing that their arm floaty could come off at any second. And so if it comes off and they can't swim and they're in the deep water, that just spells trouble. And so we do not recommend buying arm floaties, and actually some pools will not even let you come in with arm floaties. So you might as well just get a nice life jacket, and so you don't even have to worry about that.
That sounds great. And I know they're the best, and there are also puddle jumpers that are more comfortable for the little kids that have the parts going over the arms and the torso. So there are different types of them that allow for kids to swim. And also, we will talk next about the rip currents, correct?
Yes. And I think we have an image for that we're going to show. Is that correct?
Yes, yes. I saw it a few minutes ago before I think it's coming up.
Oh, there we go. So here's a good picture that describes rip currents. Rip currents are just really strong tides or pulls of the ocean, and these aren't really visible to the naked eye typically. So you can't just go out and see, oh, there's a rip current right there. And this is only in the ocean, sometimes in lakes, but typically only in the ocean. And so it's just a strong current that tends to pull you out towards sea. So it kind of pulls you under, but it mostly pulls you out towards sea until you get too far to be able to swim back. And so a lot of times when someone gets stuck in a rip current, you can typically tell it gets really hard to swim, and you can feel the pull. And a lot of people think, oh, I'll just swim straight back to the shore. And so they swim towards the sand, directly towards it, and they end up not being able to get there, and they're even further out than they were before. And so it is never recommended to swim straight towards the sand if you're in a rip current. I know you can panic and it's scary, but we actually recommend to swim so I guess you'd say that's parallel towards the beach. And so you'd have the beach in your line of sight, and you'd be swimming just along the beach. Like if you wanted to take a nice swim along the coast, you'd be doing something like that. And so you'd be going parallel, you'd swim parallel to the ocean, you can see the shore, and eventually if you swim far enough parallel, you will not be in the rip current anymore. And once you can tell that you're out of that rip current, then you can swim straight towards the beach. But you really want to make sure you're out of that rip current. And as you can show in the picture, it shows you what way to go. So you want to get out of the rip current, and then you can swim towards the beach. And that is the recommended way to do it. No matter how strong of a swimmer you are, you can't fight a rip current at all. You could be Michael Phelps in the Olympics, and you will not be able to outswim a rip current unless you do it this way.
That is a great point, because I think I've heard even friends say, oh my gosh, I totally did the wrong thing when it happened to them. So thank you so much for sharing that information. And now, Hannah, we will continue through what if something does happen. Is there anything families can do? So if a child goes under inside of the home pool, if somebody gets stuck in the rip current, or if they jump off a boat and maybe go under the water for a little bit and somebody pulls them out. What do you think about CPR? I think that would be very good to learn. Yes. Hands-only CPR. And I know you had a small animal that you can play the video at the rhythm of it, as American Heart Association says, staying alive. And this one is to Baby Shark. We learned that the rhythm is the same. So we are going to watch the video and then have you demonstrate the hands-only CPR.
Okay. Okay. What a great video.
It's fun to a popular song. So we have you here with the stuffed animal, right?
Yes. So let me position this in a way where you can see my arms. So I have here a nice little elephant to show you. This is my little person, the CPR. And so just like in that video, you want to put your hands, you want to put one hand on the bottom and you want to interlace your fingers in the other hand. So it would look like this. So that's the position you should be in. Doesn't matter which hand is on top. I prefer my dominant hand on the bottom and my non-dominant hand on the top here. And so then your hands are in position. You want to put them over your, whoever you're planning on saving. And it's kind of hard to show with this because it's an elephant, but on the person's body, you would want your hands to be on their chest, on their sternum here, right about armpit level, I would say, maybe a little bit below. So that's your position, and you can see right there in the picture, if you can see the video or the picture, that's a little bit easier to show what it looks like on a person. So your hands are in position, they're in the right place, and then one really important thing is you don't want to bend your elbows at all ever when you're giving CPR. That's a big mistake I see a lot of people do. They go like this. Now that doesn't give you a lot of force. Believe it or not, you have more force with your arms straight because then you're using all of these shoulder muscles, and that has a lot more force than just part of your forearm muscles. So a little hard to see, but my arms are straight. You can see they're straight. They're not going to bend at all ever. And so then you want your shoulders to be on top of your arms. So you can see, I'll pan it up. My shoulder is straight on top of my arms and it's on the person's chest. And so like they did, they then started their CPR. And so I've always learned it to the song Staying Alive. And that's a song most of you probably know, but this is a new song to it, and that was pretty fun. It tied in the whole shark thing, and definitely a song you can't forget. And so then you just start giving your CPR. You want it to be decently fast. It'd be faster than you'd think it would be. And so I'll show it again. It's just like this. And if anything, going a little bit faster would be more beneficial than going too slow. And so if you think you're doing it too slow, speed it up a little bit. That's a little more beneficial. And so depth on the chest, you want to go about 2 inches deep. And so I'd say that'd be about this deep, if you can see that, on the person. But I've always learned if you crack their rib, it's okay because you can fix a broken rib. It's really hard to fix a heart that's not beating. So the main goal is to get their heart beating again. It's okay if you hit a rib. It's okay if you press too deep. You want to press a little bit deeper than you think you would. So if you crack a rib, not a big deal. Kind of scary. It sounds scary, but it's actually not a big deal. You want to get their heart beating, and you don't have to worry about that rib. They can fix that later. And so the big things are keeping your arms straight. That's a huge mistake a lot of people make. You want your shoulders right over your arms, and you want to make sure you're pushing deep enough and with a decent amount of force. So it depends on how big the person is. If it's a child, you might not need as much force. If it's an older adult, you might need a little more force. And so you just keep doing that. You'll have someone near you, call 911. If you're alone, hopefully someone comes, or you can call 911. You want the ambulance there as quick as you can, but you want to keep doing that CPR. And if there's other people with you, you can switch off every minute. You can trade off. The other person will come in, not missing a beat, and they'll keep doing the CPR. And you just keep doing that till the ambulance arrives. And if they start breathing again, you'd probably see their mouth move or some expirations, but just keep doing the CPR until the ambulance gets there. And another big thing to point out is a lot of people feel like they don't know CPR well enough to do it, and so they don't step in and do it. But actually, CPR, especially when the person first goes down, is very important for saving their life. So even if you think, I'm not comfortable, I don't know it very well, it is so important. Even if you get it half right, it could mean the difference between life and death for them. So it's very important, and you can look at plenty. There's YouTube videos, there's more resources out there. You can practice on your own stuffed animals or on a pillow. Don't practice on another person yet, only if they actually need it. But otherwise, it's just getting a little more comfortable with what to do so that when the situation arises, if it ever arises, you feel comfortable enough to just kind of step in, and that adrenaline will kick in and you could save their life.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Some great tips right there. I do have information about CPR that I can share right here on the screen in the greater Tampa Bay area, and also nationally for some additional resources that I find very helpful. And Hannah, you're absolutely right. It can mean such a difference, the CPR, because even from our emergency center where we have seen submersions of children or non-fatal drowning incidents, they said the outcomes are typically so much better if a CPR is administered on the scene. And then of course it's for those serious and less serious situations. So I like both of the catchy tunes, the Staying Alive and the Baby Shark. I feel like everybody has Baby Shark stuck in the video. So I thought that was so clever that they used it for CPR, because now everybody will know that rhythm as well. So thank you so much for the great in-depth information. It was wonderful. So as a recap, I wanted to thank to all of our students who helped us with this session, with Caroline reading the book and also talking about the survival swimming skills, and Jennifer sharing the 5 layers of protection and the information about the Water Watcher badge, and with Hannah working with us on the life jackets and also on the CPR. That was wonderful. We would like to ask if anybody has any questions or etc. And you can type them in the chat or ask in person. And if there are no questions, I would be happy to turn it to my colleagues here to wrap up the session.
Thank you. We have one participant who just joined us. Sorry, Wendy. We are just wrapping up, but we have recorded tonight's session and we'll be uploading that so you can catch up and watch our tonight's program. And then we're going to also offer the other programs that the students have done with us. Ellen, is there anything you wanted to say at the end here?
Thank you. We wanted to thank everybody for joining us, and we do have 2 other events. One will be on this coming Monday, July 27th, and that will be Josh the Auto Water Safety. And then we have another great event, which will be on August 6th. Yes, August 6th, which will be fire safety. And so we hope you will all join us at those events. And again, thank you so much to our safety partners and our community partners, and special thanks to our student volunteers.